So, guys, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Today, the basic idea of this workshop is to give a view about SQL. We will start from the basics, and it will be 2 hours workshop. So, I'll try to cover the basic and main aspects of SQL so that going forward, if you go somewhere or if you want to learn or do anything, so you will not face any challenge. So this is the idea of this workshop, and if there is a requirement, then definitely I'll try to create a marathon like I did it for Power BI. The similar type of marathon in which there will be multiple sessions, and then it will be like quite hands-on workshop. Because today I need to give you the glimpse of the sequel, so I may be fast, but please pause me or let me know if you have any question or anything. Okay. Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start the session. So basically, what is SQL? So SQL, in general terms or in layman language, is a language we use to talk to the database. So simple, right? So then it's a language. So the key term of SQL is it's a language. Structure query language is the full form, and we used to talk to the database, right? So then you may have question in your mind that what is database, right? So database is basically a structured set of data which is accessible. Accessible word is important because if something is there you cannot access, then you cannot call it database, right? And database is just simple, in again in the layman language, it's just bunch of tables, nothing else. So what do you mean by tables? Then you may have something in your mind that okay, so can you please give me some example of the database? So suppose the number one example is contact list in our phone. So this a database, right? Where we store information about the name of the person, email id, mobile number, working professional or something like that, right? So telephone directory is just one example. Social media, which we are using it on a day to day basis, right? So social media is also an example where we have a lot of database, like in Twitter. So against the name of the person you can find okay, how many tweets are there, how many likes are there, how many comments are there, right? So it's again a database. Then this third one is where we are using it like business database. So if we are working in finance department, then we have like GL master, then day to day entries, everything, right? So all those tables or SAP reports are a database. So this is the definition of the database. Then you may have some question in your mind that how many type of database do we have really, right? So there are two type of database. One is relational database, another one is non-relational database. So relational database basically means where we organize data into tables with rows and columns. So and there is a relationship between the tables, and which relationship is built by keys, primary key and foreign key, that we will discuss in later. Okay. And some of the examples of relational database management systems are MySQL, BigQuery, and Redshift. So basically relational database in simple words, database where there are multiple tables. As I mentioned, database basically means there are a bunch of tables, and those bunch of tables are interrelated. So suppose you have seen the Power BI, in my Power BI workshop, you have seen that there is one fact report, transaction level report, like superstore sales. Then there are multiple reports like customer master, vendor master, and then like calendar master and everything. So, and I used a star schema to link all those stuff, right? So that's called the relational database where there is one table and then there are multiple others table which are interrelated. And then the second one is non-relational database. So non-relational database basically means it store data in non-tabular form. Then you may have something in your mind that how can we store information which is not in row column format, right? So basic idea is like we are all working and we are working on spreadsheet Excel. So every time whenever we key the data, punch the data. So it's basically in rows, column format, right? So those are like a structured data. But there are some data which is non-structured. I'll show you. But before that, first example in which like a non-relational database works, like MongoDB, Apache, Couchbase. So these are the management system, database management system. We will get to know what is database management system after this. So RDMS and non-RDMS, the examples of this is the kind of relational database. So as I mentioned you earlier, that relational database we have one table. So suppose this is student and course table. Student ID is one column, and then course ID is another column. This is the main fact table, you can say. So one student is enrolled into multiple courses, right? One, and then these are the courses one, two, three. But if you want to know, okay, what does this one ID, student ID one means, like what's the name of this guy, what's which class he is in it, what is he doing, right? So then how you can do, there are a separate table, student table, where you have ID and then you have name. So suppose say Mary Tyne, so these are the names, so you can take. So this is like one fact table, and then this is the master table. And then similarly courses, which courses has he enrolled, it is in like SQL Server, MongoDB, Java, PHP. So this is again a master table. So basic idea is there are one fact table, then multiple master table. Uh, if how those are related, that's called relational database. Fine. Then we are coming to non-relational database. Again, one more differences is what is non-relational database. So as we have seen that where data is not stored in a tabular format, then how is data is stored? So suppose if you have purchased something in Amazon, right? And then you have procured, okay, suppose this is the item one, name one, and then you have given review. So this is your review one. Then someone else may have given this similar or maybe different review for the same type of product. So name one is basically a type of product. So type of product which you can say, suppose you bought something, and then there are multiple reviews on it. So this is the kind of database which you have. There is no linking, it's not stored in a tabular format. So this how it works. And just for your information, SQL is w- work like SQL basically works in relational database where you have a structured set of data in tabular format. So SQL doesn't work in non-relational database. Then some of the again examples or key thing which you can remember or which you can write it down for theoretical knowledge purpose, obviously. So relational database, you have analytical like OLAP, and like in non-relational there are multiple four type of category: key values, column, family, graph, and document. Non-relational DB is not covered because that's not a part of SQL, right? So but just for your knowledge. Till now, do you have any question? Anyone, any question till now?
So in non-relational database, how do you retrieve a data? Like it's kind of a bulky data, right?
Hmm.
It's not related. So I mean, in a relational database, you use a primary key and retrieve it.
Right.
But how does this work? I mean, analysis in a non-relational database, how does it work?
So basically, in non-relational database, there are so data is stored obviously where there is no relationship among the data. So you might have heard about this large language model in which ChatGPT is based, right? So language these models. So basically, these kind of data set like graph data set, which basically and is majorly used in even in like when you order in Swiggy, and so they are using graph database, right? So it's like there is a process. So there are obviously the linking. So suppose if someone is searching like that, so what's the probability like this data is associated with that one? There are some linking among the data, but this not stored in the columnar format. And I think this we can discuss this later about how it can be done, because SQL is majorly used. And why SQL is used, because people are working in relational database where they are working in tabular format of data. So that's how is it. Any other question till now, or if you're fine?
No, no,
Okay,
yes, fine.
great. So then so now you have something in your mind, okay? You have learned that I am the user, okay, and then some database is there. So suppose there are like your office database, like organization business set of data, or maybe like social media data, like we have discussed, right? So database, and then we have user and app. So how do these guys communicate? So how do I take, or how do I create the data, or how do I insert, or how do I like manipulate the data, access the data, right? So there should be something. So suppose it's like we have contact list in our phone, and then we have, right, we are human. So how can we access? Obviously through phone. So phone is a medium in which contact list is stored, and we are the user who is accessing contact list through the phone, right? So this called database management system, where you, user or app or anyone, can connect or speak to the database to and fro on the basis of this. So whatever I have discussed in my previous slide, so you may have known that like MySQL, BigQuery, and Redshift, these are not database. These are database management system. But the thing is, like MySQL is like synonym for SQL. So whenever people say okay, like MySQL, so they quite correlate, okay, it's a database only. But no, it's not a database, it's database management system. Okay. Now, just I have one question to test your knowledge. So, do you know like who is the owner, or who is the company behind MySQL? Any idea? Anyone?
Did Oracle?
No, wrong answer. Sorry for that. Any other guess?
JP Morgan.
No. So basically, MySQL is by Microsoft. So Microsoft SQL. This they call it MySQL. And BigQuery. So this is the, I think, the maximum, or whenever we are talking about big data or something. So you may have heard about BigQuery. So do you know who is the company behind BigQuery? Any chance? Any guess?
IBM.
Wrong answer again. Anyone else want to try? Okay, I'll just tell you. Choose among the two, Google or Amazon.
Google.
Okay, great. So this is the right
Yeah.
answer. So BigQuery is by Google, MySQL is by Microsoft, and you know the third one, which is left, Redshift. So who should be the, or who is the owner of Redshift? Any idea? Again, I told you there are only like 3 to 4 major company: Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Oracle. Oracle is, yeah, but not that much. So okay, I'll tell you. Redshift is by Amazon. So basically, these three are database management system by multiple organization. Okay. Now you may have again this question. So let's discuss database management system further. Right. So what is the database management system? So as I mentioned you, this is the software system used to store, retrieve, and run queries on data. So you have data, then you, how do you communicate? Through DBMS. Then it's allow user to create, read, update, and delete data in the database. This is the short form CRUD, not CRED, club wala CRED. So it's CRUD, CRUD, create, read, delete, and update. So it's allow user to do the modification. So basically that's what I mean, that a database management system through which you can access the data, and then you can run your query on the data. Then you may have this question in your mind that, yeah, Krishan, tell me one thing. You told me that okay, MySQL, BigQuery, or Amazon Redshift, these three are there. But so what's the difference? Like the language, so which what I understood is the language which they are using is SQL only, right? And SQL is a language, right? So there will be some syntax through which you can access the data, and then you can work on the data. So how do they, as a companies are different, right? So they are different in terms of functionality provided, not in terms of language. All the companies give you the SQL platform where you can write SQL queries, but the way it is designed, so it's the basically a game of UI UX. UI UX basically means user interface and user experience, and then in terms of functionality, like how fast or how better you can do this stuff. So basically, at the end of the day, you will just see the kind of query or the kind of things which I am doing. You can do the same thing in SQL, you can do the same thing in Power Query, which we have recently done in our last workshop. The similar thing, you will be selecting the data, you will be updating, deleting, reading, modifying. So basically, and the same thing can be done through Python also. So it's about the language which give the flexibility to the user, how the language can be used, and it's the platform which give the functionality. So that's how it is. So just for your example, these are the some commonly used database management system. Oracle name is Oracle database. MySQL is by Microsoft. MongoDB is very popular, not in relational database management system, but in non-relational database management system. Then Microsoft SQL Server, MariaDB. I don't know about this, but PostgreSQL. This is also popular. IBM DB2. And do you know that Microsoft Access is also a database? Like it's a database management system. I didn't know, to be very honest, prior to creating this slide. But then I got to know, like in Access, you have seen that we created the database, the tables, and then all those stuff. But right now, since I don't think so, Microsoft people are using Microsoft Access. How many of you are using Microsoft Access, or just forget?
I have used it 20 years back when I was working with Airtel. So at that point of time, there was no SQL.
Right.
So now it is not being used.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the concept of primary key was there at that time.
Right. 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 So yeah, this even my idea. Like when I started my CM, so at that time I think maybe one or two time I just opened Microsoft Access to have a feel, look and feel what is it and how can I use it. But I think after that I have not even used it. Now, so you have understood SQL is the language which we use to access the data, and how can we use it. So we should have one platform in which we can write SQL queries, so this called database management system. And then database, everything and most of the things having data is more or less in tabular format, and then it's called database. So this very simple. Now these are the top five, I would say, SQL command type. Command type basically means, so you just understand. So there is number one is data definition language. So for a database to be created, so what do you think is the primary thing to do? Like when we are saving someone numbers, right? So what do? We go to my phone, contact, put the number, add to contact, and then do all this stuff, right? So this is what we are doing. So basically, this is what we are inserting the data, right? We are adding the data in our contact list, right? But first of all, we need to create, right? So we need to create the table. Right now, okay, it's the contact list, so there are it's all not in the tabular format which I need to do. But for anything, any table, so anything you need to do, you need to create table, right? So basically database, you first is database, you need to create database, and after creating database, as I told you earlier, it's a bunch of tables, nothing else. So you need to create table. Now suppose you have created table, you need to, what you need to do, you can modify the table, what we call it alter. You can drop the table, suppose remove, I don't need this table, so remove the table, right? And then you can truncate the table. Truncate basically means removing the data without removing the structure, and then you can renaming the table. So here the I don't know whether it's relevant for you guys or not, but most of the time interviewer ask this question: what's the difference between drop, delete and truncate command? So this is the question which generally interviewer asks. So drop table basically means you are deleting the entire table. We will do it practically, don't worry. And then truncate basically means you have the column name as it is structure, right? You are deleting the data, you are not deleting the table, you are not deleting the column, right? You are just deleting the data inside that. And then delete command is, delete is associated with from, like delete this column or delete something from where. So this how you can, out of the entire table, you can delete one column or do something like that. Then the second one is, suppose you have the table database, everything is there, then you need to use it, right? So how you can use it? So this where SQL command click into pictures, very famous or most useful command, I would say, start with select only. So select is just a language, right? So basically the simple in, I would say, is SQL is basically works in English, right? So you need to write queries in English. It's not like I can write in French or any other Indian language or any other stuff, right? So yes, it's just you need to write it in English, simple English. But yeah, in terms of where computer can understand. So select is a statement, is like select something, right? So how do we do it? Okay, I have this database, select. Okay, select from this table. Okay, and if suppose what condition I need to do, where all these things come into picture, where, order by, group by, I'll tell you in detail. Then you have data manipulation language. Data manipulation language basically means you have created table, but now you need to insert the data, right? What will you do without inserting the data? So you need to insert the data, you need to update the data, delete the data, simples, right? And then you have data control language. This is less used, to be very honest, like grant revoke, it is used for admin purpose. Like if you are giving access to someone, granting access, so basically we'll say, okay, grant. It's like in what we are doing in Tele or SAP, right? So like grant this type of access to this user, or revoke this type of access to this user. So it's basically simple. And then transaction control, where you can control your transaction, like commit, rollback, set, save point. So these are the thing which you can do it. Okay, now so before moving into our practical one, I just want to that there are these type of data type which we have: numeric data type, string data type, date type. So these are the three popular data type. Because whenever you are creating something, suppose you are creating a column, maybe name column. So name, you need to know, okay, whether name is in integer, whether name is a string, right? It's a string. So which, since the name is string, so which data type should you select? Character, var character, binary, var binary, blob, tiny blob, medium blob, long blob, text. So these kind of database, like data types are available. Sorry, for database, data types are available. So if I'm inserting name, creating table with name column, I need to choose one among these. If I'm creating date, like suppose date column, then I need to choose something like this. Do I need only date? Do I need date plus time, or do I need only year? Something like that. Or if suppose there are some number information, where suppose how many, what's the age or something. So where you we should use numeric data type. So these are the three data type which is important. So now let's start building our first SQL database. So before that, guys, do you have any question till now?
No question.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'll share again my screen. Okay. So I have shared one link with you guys. Okay. So in that link, we will run our SQL queries. So this free of cost. It's like online SQL editor, which you can use it. So just give me one moment. I'll share my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible. Let me know if it's visible.
No, it is.
Okay. So basically, guys, so Just wanted to know. I think there are many people here who have already worked on SQL. So, out of how many of you are like working on the SQL first time, or you have just heard the name and you have not explored it? So, how many of you are? Can you please raise your hand or chat right in the comment section or like in chat section? Oh, Pawan J, first time. What about others? Okay, just heard not use. Shivani Sanjay, first time. Not used earlier others. Okay, so I think yeah, many of for many of you it's the first time, right? So I'll do. I'll just don't consider whatever here is it. So I think I'll delete this table. Okay, so we will create table for us.
So Krishna, this is online one. No, we have to download anything, SQL
No,
server, client
nothing,
server.
nothing, 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 nothing. You don't need to download anything. So right now, so suppose. I think in your SQL, so whenever you open it for the first time, so this is the basically online SQL editor where you will have like they will give you the database like so simple database in which you can learn or do something. Okay, but here we will be doing for the first time, so you can keep as it is. Suppose if you want to do, otherwise there is no issue, right? So suppose this is the first time which you are doing. Suppose I need to create table. So suppose there are just simple table I'll create. Okay, nothing more complex. So suppose I need to create an employee table where there will be one ID, right? ID and then name and then salary, age, gender. So that's it. I'll not add anything else. So I'll create like one after another so that you will get to know like what need to be done and what not. So, how you can do it? So, as I mentioned you, whenever you want to create something, so create is a syntax. So these are called syntax. Okay. So like SQL understand create. Okay. So now SQL is understanding. Okay, he is creating something. Now create what? Create table because as I mentioned you database is just a bunch of tables. So I am creating table. Suppose I am giving a name of employees. Okay, create table employees, and then what do I need to do is I need to define the columns, right? So create table employees, then suppose my first column name will be ID. Okay, and then once you define the column name you need to give it a data type. So that's why I told you like whatever the column name is there, it should be associated with the data type. So what do you think? Like it's the ID like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which data type should I give? Whether it's a number and then what do I call it? Whether it's a number, whether it's a string, or whether it's a date. So what do you think I should give? It's a number, right? So number it should be integer. So as I mentioned you like integer, big integer, small integer, but integer is famously used. So you can write it like number, ID integer, and then you can just close it. Then you can use this one, sorry, number, ID integer, and then ID column name is done, then data type is done, right? Then what do you need to do? Then suppose I am creating name. Okay, it's like a common name. So for name function is a string, right? So we need to is a character, so we need to use the string type. So if you have seen there are multiple string type option, so this is the famously used like varchar, so variable character, the full form of this one is. And then I'll just close this. Okay, variable character, then you need to give the limit whenever you are defining a string. The thing is you need to give the limit. Okay, suppose my name, so name will be maximum 10 letter, right? So then you can decide okay it will be maximum 10. And if suppose you are giving the description of something, then you cannot restrict it 10. So you know that like in Twitter we have limit of I think 240 words. Am I right or wrong? Twitter was the maximum limit, word limit in Twitter. Anyone? Any idea? No one, no idea. Do you know the limit, word count limit in Twitter?
No.
It's 280 character, so you can write up to 280 letters, that's it, you cannot write more. So suppose you have given id and name, so I'll suppose that's it, I'll not do anything else, I'll just close this one, and I'll just run the SQL query. So here in the right hand side you can see employees table have been created, I have added id, and then name is there, right? Simple, id and name. It's a blank table. Why is it blank? Because you have not inserted any data, right? Because you have just created a table. So guys, do you understand, right? So how do we calculate the table, sorry, how do we create the table? And suppose now I'll just give you example, I'll write two more columns, okay, so that you will understand it. So I'll just drop this existing table and then I'll add two more columns. So I'm dropping this entire table,
So
sorry.
if you want to delete the table, you have to use a drop command, right?
Yeah, so
And
if suppose I'm dropping this entire table, so actually if you have seen what I did, I'm a like finance person, right? So I just thought of, okay, what I'll do, I'll just put drop employees. So but I need to define it, right? So drop table employees. What are you dropping, right? So if you drop table employees, then right hand side you see nothing is there, right? And then I have copied it. So now you know that create table employees, id integer, name varchar, then I think what I can write it, salary. Salary should be in what you can say, for the time being we can write it integer, right? So salary will be integer, and then comma again. Then fourth column, I am just thinking about, okay, let's give age again. So age will be again integer. Then what can I give? I think date, date of joining, okay. So basically joining date, or I'll put date on, no, I'll put joining date. You have seen me that I don't give blank anywhere. Don't give blank, okay, don't like space, always use something like underscore or anything. So then I have given joining date, and this is the data type of joining date, okay. Then I'll just close it out. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create table id, name, salary, age, joining date. Then I'll just run query. If you see over here, id, name, salary, age, joining date, so these are the columns it has created. Now what do I need to do? So suppose I need to insert some of the data, right? Because this is the blank table, you cannot use this blank table, right? So just for your information, if suppose I want to insert the data, so now I am inserting the data. So for insert, your general thought process is there should be some insert command, right? So these are just the language. You just need to go by the logic. Okay, if I'm inserting data, there should be something insert command. So you can just write it. Okay, insert. Okay, that's fine. Okay, insert is there. Now what do I need to do? Insert. Insert what? Saying that okay, insert into something, right? So it's like where general English also comes into picture. So it's like insert into something. So insert into, I need to give the table name, employees. Yeah, Charles, you have question?
Yeah, Christian, sorry, I didn't follow you when you did the drop table, and then when I tried to run this ID, name, salary, it's showing incomplete input because it already had the employees table.
Okay, so basically you mean to say that you are having all those tables, right? So you can just ignore that
Yeah,
one. So there's not an issue. So whatever table you will be creating, it will become on top of that one. So
yeah,
there
but
is
how
no,
can I drop? How can I drop the employee
you just
table?
don't need to do or drop employees table. So basically whenever you want to drop any table, so drop
Yeah, okay,
table and then table name, whatever table is there.
okay,
Simple.
okay,
Drop table and whatever table name is there, and then just run SQL. It will drop that table.
okay.
So for just for you guys, I have not copied the create query, so I'll just write it again so that I'm dropping the table. Okay, right now employees. So now there is no table. I'm create table. I'll write a query and then I'll give it to you. Create table employees, then ID age integer, and then no, there should not be any comma, id integer then comma, you are fulfilling the entire column thing. Then name should be in varchar 10. Then comma, what was the other stuff? Salary, which is integer, age, which is integer, then joining date, which is date. Close. This is the table. I am just giving you this under chat so that if you want to do, you can do it. Fine. Any question till now? Okay. So then, as I mentioned you, I need to insert the data into this one, right? So insert into, and then how you can insert into? So basically, what you need to do is insert into. You need to write the table name. So it's better to directly copy paste over here. So insert into employees. Then whenever you are doing insert into, so basically it's a syntax, and then it says how you are using it. So you need to define all the columns. Like you have given insert into table name. Now in the bracket you need to define all the columns. So like id was my first column, then name was my second column, then salary was my third, then age. The sequence matters. Okay, so you need to define the columns, bracket 1. Then you are saying that okay, insert into, this is the table name, these are the columns, and then what are you inserting? Values, right? So this is again a syntax: insert into table name, column name, and then values. Now you insert whatever you want to insert. Suppose I am just inserting one, and then suppose I am inserting name is Sanjeev, then suppose I am inserting salary is suppose 10,000, and then age is suppose okay, I'm taking 30. Joining date should be under date format, and date format is YYYYMMDD. So suppose I am saying 2023, then 07, then 23. So basically 23rd July 2023. Then I am closing it out. Okay. So if I do that, name ID 1, name Sanjeev, salary 10,000, age 30, joining date is this one. When I click on run SQL, there are something. Okay, there is no such column Sanjeev. Okay, sorry guys, you cannot directly put it like this because these are the string. So every string should be, you should use quote, single quote. For string you should use single quote. For integer you don't need to use any quote. So if you do that, you have seen that one. For the integer type, there is no, like you can there is like 1 2 3 4, there is no need of code. Whenever you are writing any text, then you need to insert code. So I have inserted, you can see right it side: id, name Sanjeev, salary, age, joining date. This till now, this is fine with you guys? Any question? Yes, others.
Hi, Kishan. So,
Yes,
just wanted to check, like, first of all, you created a table.
right.
Then you remove all the text that you have entered to create a table. Then if we remove all the content, like, how can the table is still there in
No,
the,
I
like,
have created the table again, right? I have removed because Charles was saying that he was facing some challenges. So that's why I removed. So okay, I'll create it again. I'll just give you this one so that I don't need to write it again and again. So suppose right now I am dropping the table. How you can drop it? Drop table employees, right? Run
okay,
SQL. Now you don't have anything. It's just
anything?
simple, right?
Correct.
Now in the chat window, I have given you like create table statement. Okay, I'm just copying it from there and pasting it. Create table
Okay,
employees ID, whatever is there. I'm creating the table. Once
okay,
I'm creating the table, right hand side you can see the table name, like all the columns. In the left hand side you can see the table data type, like this is the column name ID, it's in integer, name varchar, salary integer, age integer, joining date. So
correct.
now you don't have any data, it's saying empty. Now I have again given you one more in the chat window, like insert into statement. I will be pasting it over here. So insert into table name, column name, values is basically a function, so it's like insert into values. So values, what values I need to insert, one Sanjay whatever, then I'm running the query. Now you see the result.
Okay. Okay. So like after putting run SQL, if you remove also like the input characters that you entered, if you remove, still the values would be available in the table, correct?
What you are removing, like
So
what?
like if you remove the all the insert into employees, these
Yeah, yeah,
things.
obviously. So this is the query which I already run it. So
Okay.
this is done, like it's done. So
Mhm.
basically, it means that, so this is how SQL works. So SQL is basically a command language, right? So you write query, you run it. Okay,
Okay.
and then suppose in this, so suppose there are 10 queries which you have written in the single page. You can run one by one, or you can run in any random option. So
Okay.
basically, you need to select the query and then run. But here, this is online free one, so you cannot select and then run it. Otherwise, I could have told you that suppose it will be similar to this one. So suppose there are this statement you have, and then suppose you have create a statement as well. So I'm just taking one more statement, right? Create. So then in the normal MySQL or SQL Server Management Studio, you can just select like this and then run. So then
Okay.
the query, whatever you have selected, it will run only that part. That's it.
On
Is
that one.
okay.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So now, just to save time, so insert into I have done, right. I'm not deleting anything over here. I'm just adding some of the names. So suppose I am writing second, I'm adding or more name, right? So others, suppose I am having, and then suppose I am having 20,000. Suppose age is 20, and suppose I am changing the date to 23rd of June, right? Now suppose I need to add multiple data, right? So I cannot add one after another, right? I need to add multiple data. So how can I do it? Comma, and then just copy paste this one and then change it. So suppose now I am adding one more three, and suppose I am putting it Shivani, and then I am putting suppose 30,000, age is 30, and suppose I am changing to year 2022. Suppose I am again, I'll add one more name. So suppose name is Sachin, suppose 40,000, then age is 40, and suppose 06, okay, 06, and I'll change the date to 3rd of June. Now I'll run all this thing put together, but I'll tell you one more stuff. Incomplete input, because in the last you have this comma. You cannot have comma at the end. You need to remove that. Then you run query. Now you can say second, third, fourth, whatever you have written, salary, age, joining date, everything appears in the right hand side. Now this you can just simply delete it, because if you again edit, then again the data will get duplicated. Okay, till now everything all right? So I'm just telling you what you can do in SQL, but definitely I think if you need, so uh, for this type of stuff, I need to give you time. I know that, and I need to handle one after another. Right now, I need to be fast so that I'll show you what all things can be covered and what all things can be done in SQL, so that you can open your mind. Okay, so suppose you have this data set, then you can just like play with the data set. Okay, this is the data set, and then if I need to add something, delete something, modify, so you can do it. Any question till now?
Yeah, Krishan, one small question. I don't know how relevant it will be, but suppose in case the data is here, the data size is very small, but when there is a bigger data set, then how do you want to run it? Because here you have put one line for one
Right,
person.
right,
So, but for bigger data set, suppose which
right.
runs into lakhs and millions, so
Lex,
how
right,
it is going to work out? Just in
right,
case if it is relevant.
right. So to give you to answer your question, as I mentioned you earlier, that MySQL, BigQuery, Amazon Redshift, all use same SQL language. Even whatever this program is, .com online SQL editor, right? So it's the same, but in terms of functionality they provide is different. So right now here I'm adding it manually one after another, but in like MySQL or in that, there are option you can directly simply insert the entire spreadsheet, and then it will automatically insert the data into that one. So you don't need to write it manually one after another. You can just simply entire database, you can just It's like when we are uploading it, you can upload the database and it will be done. Simple.
Okay.
Okay, any question till now? Okay, so suppose now you have just to just these are just example, right? So I have created table and then I have created added the data also. So suppose I need to do something, I need to add one column. So how can I do it? So to add a column, so you just have simple in mind. Okay, adding a column. So what does it mean? It means that I am altering the table, right? So actually this is the syntax like alter table. Then you need to obviously give the name of the table. So it's basically like same. Whenever you are creating, dropping, altering, you need to write statement like create, drop, alter, then table name. So alter table, and then suppose I want to add email ID. So I'll just put add email. This is email is the column name, right? Whenever you are defining any column name, you need to give data type. So email, then varchar 50 bracket close run. I think there are some errors. Alter table, employees is fine. Add email. Okay, sorry. So this is yeah. So varchar you need to write it without any. So these things are important. Sorry for that. But yeah, this is just the language. So it's like how is it defined. So these things are important. Varchar, and then whatever character limit you want to put it, you can put it in bracket, right? So like add email varchar 50. Now run it. You can see here right hand side you have column name email varchar. This is also you can see what data type you have put. So now suppose I have added column, but if I need to drop a column, so what can I do? Simply suppose I don't want this column, so just simply alter table employees fine, then drop email. Simple drop email, it will drop the email. That's it. So it's like very simple. Whatever you need to do is according to your requirement how you can do it. Some of the function like truncate table and those kind of stuff doesn't work over here. So suppose if you want to truncate the table as I mentioned you, what does truncate do? Truncate will remove 1 2 3 4 every this information, but it will retain your column name. But truncate will not work over here. This is limitation of this program is because it's free. So truncate doesn't work. So basically, whatever we have learned till now, what we have learned, we have created, alter, drop, right? So these are the stuff which we learn, and so these are called these are come under data definition language. Yes, Charles. Yes, Charles.
Yeah, so we use truncates to take out rows instead of like we use drop to take out columns, right?
No. So in truncate, so basically, I'll tell you. So sorry for that. So if you use the truncate,
Okay.
only this part will remain. uh, okay, actually I think this is not showing it over here, sorry for this. So only the column name will be part of this one. If you truncate, then 1 2 3 4 whatever your data is there, that will be deleted. Only the column name will remain as it is. So it's basically
Let's say we want to take we want to delete row number 3.
hmm,
Shivana, we want to take out that row. How do we do that?
yeah, so that I'm coming into that one. So where if you
Okay.
want to remove that one, so how you can remove the column or how you can remove the rows. Okay, I'll come
The
into that
rows.
one.
Good.
So basically whatever we have learned is data definition language, how you can define the data, work in the data architecture basically. Now if you want to play with the data, so suppose if I want to select something, so suppose I want to, this is the data right now you are seeing, but when you will be working you will not be seeing the data. So basically you need to see the data. So you need to write select star basically means give me everything. So select star from table name. If you see it over here, run SQL, in the downend side you will see your result. So whenever you are querying something, the result, this is the input, this is the output, right? So here, now suppose you want to only select some column. So it's like just give me name and salary. Don't give me every other information. So then you need to write it something like this: give me name, salary from employees. So if you run it like this, then it will give you only name and salary. So it's like whatever you want, you can just write it. And then suppose if you want to uh, take everything, so suppose but give me everything, but I think someone joined or what. Let me check. uh, yeah, so suppose you are saying, okay, give me everything, but only tell me about Shivani. So suppose I am saying select star from employees, where this is conditional clause where name is equal to I am giving it Shivani. So if I do write this, then it will give me only Shivani information. That's it. Similar. So it's like how we can do it. So whatever, suppose you want only name Shivani, or suppose if you are saying that where age is equal to 30, right? So suppose you are putting it like this, so there you should be having two result. One is Sanjeev, another one is Shivani. So like run SQL, then there will be two result, right? So this is how you can use it, where clause, conditional clause. And similarly you can write it solo select star, and where suppose you have joining date, right? So where joining date is greater than, you need to write suppose 2022, so 2022 0101. So you can see it over here, we have 2022 okay, greater than I have taken, right? 2023 I'll put it. So see,
So
one
select
two.
and where are data manipulation languages, right?
Yeah, basically these are manipulation language where we are manipulating. So basically whatever we are writing, no, this is not manipulating, this is like accessing the data. So it's like querying the data. So this forms under data query language. But these are just terms, so don't go by that. It's not like, it's very simple. So basically you have data, then you want to fetch information, you want to modify something, and then you are using it. So it's like that. So till now, is it clear, guys? So these are just the basics one, like select, where joining date, etc., etc. So till now, are you fine or with me, or do you want to try on your own? So should I give you 5 minutes to try? Whether that would be fine? You want to try on your own? Anyone?
Will you also explain today inner joins and
Yes.
all
So
these?
inner join, yeah, definitely, which we can do it. So okay, so I think what I'll do is better to I'll cover some of the main stuff, and then you can practice maybe in your home whenever you have time. So just to give you some examples, so it's like how we write it: select a star, and then suppose if you want to write it select. So suppose I'm again writing it select. So suppose you want to take the minimum joining date. So these are the function like min, max, etc. So you can write it min, and then you can write it joining underscore date, select min underscore date from employees. So whatever you want to write it, put it under select a statement. Then it gives you, okay, minimum date is 23 June 2022. You can see it over here, this is the date. Similarly, if you want to do it max, you can do it select max. It will give you 23 7 2023.
If you want to also show the employee name along with this,
Yeah, so put it like the select name comma mix. Suppose you want to only put mix, okay, it will give you Sanjeev. And suppose you want to write it, suppose here the column name is mix, right? So you want to give some fancy column name, so it is called alias. So put it age suppose max date. Then the column name will get changed. Just see, max underscore date. Whatever you want to do, suppose ABC run SQL ABC. It's like that. So it's like whatever you want to do, mean, max, or whatever is your requirement, you can put it like that. And then you can also do something. So suppose you want to say select star from employees. Okay, this is your basic statement, right? Now you are saying, okay, order by age, right? So then you can put it order by age. And what you want to do, ascending or descending, it's up to you. Suppose ASC ascending, then it will give you age wise information. See, order by 20, 30, 30, 40. You can see it right. So order by ascending, you want to do it descending, then DESC, like this, descending 40, 30. So it's up to you, like what do you require, what is your requirement. But the idea of doing this is just to show you what all things which you can do, so that it will open up your mind. So suppose there are only 4 transactions, and you want to do the count, right? So suppose you are saying, okay, give me count of this data set, what is, how many data set are there. So you can just see there are count of 4. Now there is another function which is called listing. So suppose you can see it over here, age we have two same, right? So I just want information. Suppose I am just saying select age from employees. So it is giving you 30, 20, 30, 40. You are saying no, just give me age, distinct age, like remove all the duplicate, right? In Excel we can just remove duplicate, but here we need to write something. So you are saying select distinct. So distinct is the syntax. So you are saying select distinct age. Now it is giving you 30, 20, 40. You can order by, so order by ascending, then it will give you 20, 30, 40. Sorry, order by, so okay, order by I need to give the column name, right? So order by age ascending. So 20, 30, 40. So this how you can use this query. So these are called data query language. Okay. Now, are you fine with the data query language, or you can do it? Okay, I'll tell you some more stuff. So suppose you want to uh, calculate the sum of the salary, right? So how you can do it? Select sum of salary from employees. See, it will give you 40, 30, 20, 10 is 1 lakh. You can write it, suppose salary, sum of salary, and then suppose you can, as I mentioned, you max mean are the average. I think average is the function also. You can, I don't know whether it will work it over here. No, it will not work over here. So average is also a function, so which you can use it. Apart from that, I think what you can do it, suppose you want to see age, total 30 age, what is the salary, right? So sum of salary and then age, sum of salary. So then it is giving you 30. It is only giving you 30, right? Because uh, it is just taking like the first one, because you have not written anything. So then you need to write. Uh, you need, basically what do you need is, you want a pivot table like 20, 30, 40. Against 20 salary will be 20,000, against 30 salary will be 30 plus 10, 40,000, again 40. So basically you are aggregating, right? So this is the aggregation statement. So suppose you are saying select a sum of salary from employees, then you are grouping it. So this, like we have used order by, right? So it's the similar function you can use group by. So group by, you are saying, okay, give me group by age. Let's see, will it work? So like see, 20, 30, 40, 20, 20,000, 30, 40,000, 40, 40,000. So guys, till now, any question? You want to try on your own till now? These all statements. Okay, so I am just giving you 5 minutes, so you can just like, I have added you something also, like given you some statement, and please just feel free to do anything whatever you like. So the idea is just like whatever you want to do. Okay, I will take this, I will take out this. So you just do that, and let me know if you face any question, and then we will continue. Okay, so you have 5 minutes timer. Please let me know if you have any question. मेरा चार्जर लेके आना, बाहर चार्जर पड़ा है, चार्ज नहीं है लैपटॉप। नहीं नहीं, हो गया, मैंने बस 1 मिनट के लिए वीडियो बंद किया है, ऐसे नहीं बंद कर सकता। चार्जर लेके आना। हम्म, अरे उधर ही पड़ा है जहाँ तो मैं पेन लगा था। लैपटॉप का चार्जर। हम्म, कितने लोग हैं? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10। अब बारिश आएगी क्या? Yeah, any question, guys? Any question, anyone? You can write in the chat, or you can say Sivani, Bhaskar, Pavan, Sachin, Charles, Adarsh, Rishika. Any question?
Um, Krishan, can I share my screen because I'm getting some syntax error?
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure, you can.
Yeah, just give me a moment. Can you see my screen?
Mm, remember to show us. No, it's not coming.
Okay, just a minute. Try once again. Oh, sorry, just tried. Actually, I'm sharing it.
Or you can just share the your statement in the chat window. Then I'll look into it if you're
Yeah.
facing
Okay.
some challenge there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
You need to close this one, or you can just share me the entire. Okay, okay, okay. No, this is 23rd July. This is not right. You need to put it YYYY Sorry, YYYY.
Okay. 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 Fine.
So you need to
Let,
write
let
it
me
like
just
that.
try.
Yeah, right. Then only it will come. Otherwise, it will not come. Anyone else? Any question? Charles, yeah, I know that you wanted to know how to drop a particular column, not particular column, particular row. Right. Yeah, we'll do that.
Krishnan, I realized one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like suppose when I'm writing some query, and
Mm-hmm.
in case if I put not in proper format, like in suppose the order table is
Mm-hmm.
starting with a capital O, and I
Mm-hmm.
write a small like a small case O, it will not recognize. So that also we need to be careful, which I just find
Right,
it out.
right, right, right. Yeah, that's what it's all about: syntax, comma, bracket, semicolon. So it's tough. Not it's tough, but it's the language. So this why in this like in this age, a lot of companies, or even I think they are, you can just write it in your natural language. Okay, create table with this. It will automatically convert into query, and then it will do it for you. So this why all these things are coming into picture. AI. Yeah, syntax are simple, Shivani. Yeah, that's true. It's not. It's like a, just a SQL is basically an English language, I would say. You just need to write whatever in your mind, something like select, or if suppose you have some other thing in your mind, you can just simply Google it, and then you can see, okay, which is the correct syntax over here. So it's very easy. It's not difficult. It's all about the uses, what you need to do, and to be very honest, it's all about whether it's working or whether you really need in your day-to-day life, because you can learn, but at the end of the day, if you don't use on your day-to-day life, then you will forget. That's how it works, right? But at least, yeah, you will remember, okay, this can be done if you need in future. So others, have you tried, or you will try after this workshop? Right, others, Rishika? Okay, you are trying. Great. Okay, so should I continue, or you want some more time to do this? Okay, 5 minutes. Sure. Meanwhile, guys, so Sivani is doing that, and if you have done that, it's great. But I would advise you to create some other stuff. So whatever, so suppose if you want to create, just create randomly, like name, first name, last name, or if you are like Bollywood movie, Hollywood movie, like title name, which category. So you can just create random column in add random data and then play with the data. So like pastries, or if you want to, I'll tell you the some of the good example, you can create that. Okay, if you're free, then you can just create on clothing. So basically you can columns maybe ID and then color, and then you can have type of the shirt or paint, and then last wear something. So you can create something like that. So it's up to you. You can just write it and then play with the data. Or if you have already the tables, then you can also play with the same type of data in your editor. So apart from Shivani, anyone else is trying or is done? Sachin, Bhaskar, Rishika, anyone? Okay, done. Great. Okay, great. So now, okay, so let's start this one. Yeah, thanks, Shivani. Welcome. So, as Charles mentioned, and he is having some query. So, basically, you have one table in which there are four data, right? You want to delete the third, that where ID is equal to 3. So, basic
Yeah.
general statement. So, basically, what you want to do, you want to delete, right? So, delete is always associated with where clause. Okay. So, you are saying like delete from, give the table name employees, and then you say okay, delete from employees, but what you want to delete, you need to write, right, where you are saying where id is equal to 3. Okay, now you have only right hand side, you just see you have 1 2 4. If you are
Okay.
saying that you want to delete where age is equal to 30, then this first row will get deleted. Just see, done. So you
Okay.
can just do whatever you want to do. And suppose you want to, since we don't have much data, we need to insert some data. So let me just go there and then insert. So basically insert Sanjeev and then insert pause. Right, so suppose this is the data which I have inserted. So now, so delete from, you have seen like delete is basically, this is called data manipulation language. So delete from where, or you want to do now suppose you want to give multiple condition, like delete, I don't know whether it's work it over here or not. So delete from employees, but you want to say where id No, not ID. I think I'll take unique where age is equal to 30. Okay. I don't know whether end close, yeah, end will work it over here. So you want to say like there are two 30 age, right? One is Sanjeev, another one is Charles. So I am saying that, okay, if I say that delete from employees where age is equal to 30, it will delete both the data, right? Because it will say 30, delete. Simple. You are saying no, only delete. Suppose name is equal to Sanjeev. You want to say, okay, delete only Sanjeev. Then let's give like this. But since it's a text, Sanjeev is like text, you need to give it single quote. Now it will delete Sanjeev. See, Charles is still there. So this is how it will work. Or you can say, you can give or clause also. So it's like these are the clauses. So and or you can write it like where age is 30 or name is Sachin. So suppose you want to give like this where age is 30 and name is Sachin. So then it will delete third and fourth. Just see it deleted third and fourth. So
Good.
this how it works. So let me, I think what I'll do, I need to again insert into, right? So insert into Sanjeev, then insert into 3 Charles 40 50 case, then insert into Chin 50 35 12. So okay, so data is inserted. Now you can just see. Okay, so now suppose what you want to do. Suppose instead of Sachin, you want to update Rishika, right? So suppose you are saying maybe I have written wrongly Sachin. So how can I do it? So there are two way. You will just delete the entire fourth line and then you can add. But this is a long process, right? So you can just simply update. So you are saying that okay, update here. You can just write update. Okay, what do you want to do? Update employees. Then where before that where you need to say okay update employees, then you need to see what you need to update. So this is a statement like syntax set. So you are saying set name is equal to, you want to, what do you want to do, you want to write name Risika instead of Sachin, right? So you can say set name is equal to Risika where name is equal to name is equal to Sachin. Sorry, double quote will not work. I need to give single quote. Double quote works in Power BI, just for your knowledge. Single quote works in SQL. So you are saying update employee set name is equal to Risika where name is equal to Sachin. Run query. See, name got changed. Then you can also write it, suppose name give to Christian where it's not dependent on the name, right? Where suppose age is equal to 30. So in Charles name Christian name will come. Just see, equation will come. So it's like the update statement. These are called data manipulation language. So where you can add, modify the data based on your requirement. Is it fine with you guys?
Yes, sir. Krishan, just to check, like, can we set like set name last and where put where line first? The result will be same.
Name last means.
Means like update employees where age is equal to 30,
Hmm,
set name is equal to Krishan.
I don't think it will work. Yeah. So basically, you want to say that okay, where age is equal to 30 and then set condition, right?
Yes.
Suppose you, I don't know. No, it's like order matters. So this way I told you like where. So basic general is what you have seen. Select is the first one. Then from you can write column name over here, right? So that's how
Okay.
it works. Select column name or you can write star whatever you need. From table name, you need to give table name. And then after that you can see select from. Then if you want to give some condition, so suppose you can write it. So select from where, if you can give condition. And then if you are using, you can group by, order by also you can do it. So group by and then order by. So this way order matters. So suppose select, when you do select star from employees, so it will give you all the records, right? then you can limit your record also. So suppose you are saying that okay, limit, give me only first record, so it will give you second. See, but now you are saying this is wrong. ID this one should be the first one, right? So then you can write it order by ID sending. Suppose you just deleting it limit one. How does it give? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you say limit one. It will give you one. So and then there are multiple way to do it. You can do it limit one, or you can do it. I think top one is also a one. Top one from employee. So top, I think. No, here it doesn't work, but token is also a function by which you can do it. So it's all about what is your requirement and how you can do it. So these are just the basic function on of SQL. We are not discussing that DCL data control like grant revoke, because these will not work over here. So basically, how does that work? So you are saying okay, grant. You have seen, right? We have multiple statement. So like select, you are saying that okay, this person can only view the data, this person can update the data, this person can alter the table structure or anything. So this how you can give the multiple access, okay, grant access, then you can revoke. So this how it works. You can change the name of the tables also. So everything can be done, whatever you are thinking can be done over here. Any question till now? Anything in your mind?
Krishan, in case if I need to like amend the table only, like I wanted to update the table. Suppose here if you see the name is written in a small cap. In case if I need to write it in a you can say caps.
Yeah, so
How?
yeah, you can do it. So I think for that you have option alter table.
Okay.
So suppose you want to drop column. So you have seen that drop, if you write it age, it will drop. So alter column, and then I think I don't know whether which one is the right one. Modify will not work. Alter table, alter column name. I don't know whether it will work it or not, but uh, let me just see what can be done. I think alter table, okay, you can what you can do it, you can delete, drop, rename. I think yeah, what you can do, you want to rename the table, right? Rename,
Correct.
right? So you can alter table name, then rename, you write column, I don't know, column rename name to. But the problem is some of the things will not work over here.
Okay.
So but yeah, this is the statement which you can do. And for your information, so suppose if you want to do something, let me just share one more stuff. How many of you have heard about W3 school? Just can you please just say right in the chat, or speak up? How many of you have heard about W3 school?
I have.
Okay, what about others? Sachin, you are saying you have not heard of W3 school. How you can do, yeah? Okay, then this is the new thing for you. So whenever you have any question, so suppose like Sanjeev asks, so he want to add, what he want to do? He want to rename column name, right? So rename column name in SQL. So whenever you can just write it, and then whenever you see it over here, I don't know why it's not coming, but W3 school is very popular where all of things are there. So suppose you can just once you click it over here, where you can write, and then you can also check the syntax. So here you can see if alter table you want to add column, what is the syntax? Alter table add, this is the example, right? You can try it yourself also. Alter table drop column, if you want to drop, rename column, you want to modify data type. So suppose you have integer, right? So if you want to convert from integer to maybe decimal, right? So how you can do it? Alter table alter column name data type, so it will alter the column, modify column. So this is like applicable for prior version, so that's why I told you. So basically wherever database management system, they may have their own set of there will be a little bit of difference here and there in terms of syntax, but yeah, majorly it will be same. So whatever you want to do, like see, these are the all the functions, sql intro, SQL syntax, you can see it over here. In SQL syntax, you can see that this is just a dummy table, customer table. Then like select star from employees. You can also try it yourself. So select try it yourself. Then it will say select star from employees, and then you can run. Then it will give you error. So I think something like that. Actually is running, no. So yeah, so select SQL select statement, select distinct where end or not. So we have covered end or, right, but we have not covered not operator. So these are called operators. So it's like where condition 1 and condition 2 and condition 3, right? Condition 1 or condition 2 or condition 3, whenever we are defining where clause, right? And suppose if you want to give not condition, you are saying that okay, not maybe Sachin or not, maybe others something. So you can write the condition. So this is the demo database. So basically this is where you can do your practice. So where country this or example. Suppose see, not example, where select star from customer where country is not equal to Germany, right? So basically not function. In Power BI we have also not function, not in or not function. So this is the function. So SQL order by statement, SQL insert into null values, SQL update. So whatever question, whatever thing you have in your mind, like SQL wildcards. So what does wildcard means? This is like a statement, like operator. So suppose I know that I have the database, but I don't know. Suppose this is the location data, right? But I know that maybe his name is started with around, right? But I don't know what's the full name or anything. So it's like a guess, right? So I can use like operator. Basically, it's called wildcard. So like wildcard. So I can just write how we can do it. You can just see. See, you can write select star where city like. This is how you can write. So BER, it wants to say Berlin, right? So he just know BER, but doesn't know what is after and what is before, right? So if you don't know something, you can write percentage. So BER percentage. I know the first three character is BER, but I don't know the rest of the character. So that's where you can use BER percentage or so percentage is used where you don't know the information. It can be before, it can be after, it can be anywhere. So these are the basically the things which you can use it. So suppose this is also an example, select star from customer where city like this, we want London, right? So I don't know the first character, but I don't know there is only one character. So if you want to specify one character, use underscore. If you know that there are character but how many, I don't know, use percentage. So these are the basically the wildcards which are used when you are querying the data, when you are modifying or when you are extracting the information. Similarly, there are multiple function like SQL in function. In function is so basically you have seen that you have already seen in Power BI also, right? That if suppose I want to extract multiple conditions, so suppose condition it will be like name will be Sachin also, others also, and Charles also, but I cannot give multiple times or, right? So how many times I will give? So I can just use in operator, and then these are the this is the dummy data set, and then this is the query like select star from customer where country in Germany, France, and UK, and then you can try it yourself also. So that's why I told you like it's very easy. This W3 school, if you have not heard it before, then is the high time you should use it, because whenever you are facing any query or anything, you can just use it. Shivani mentioned that so maximum possible syntax used are here. Yes, right. And then is I think you can use this option also, like how can we use join, right? So all these things can be also learn over here. So suppose join, okay, I'll just cover one part of join today. So let me share my screen so that you can also so let me know once my screen is visible. Let me know once my screen is visible. Okay, it's visible. Got it. So I don't know how many of you know about join. How many of you know about joins like inner join, left join, right join, full outer join? These same things we use in Power BI as well, right? So how many of you know about this one? Joins? Okay. So let's start this one. So suppose this is the data set. So suppose right now I have just refreshed this one. So whenever you refresh, then whatever you have done will be gone. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So I have just refreshed itself. So we have three tables already created. I don't need to create any other stuff. So customer ID, first name, last name, age, country. Then I have order ID. Then I have shipping information. So suppose I just want to know that suppose I am just creating one more table. I am just saying okay, I have customer information, but I don't have the location information. So select create table location. Okay, create table location, and then what I want to do, I just want to create id integer, comma, suppose I just want to give the state I want to give, suppose var care 50, then bracket close. So this is my tables I have created. Now I will insert the data into this table, insert into location, values, insert into location, but I need to put the column name also, right? You have already seen that. So column name, values, and then I can just write id1, and then suppose state I am just using suppose Mumbai. Okay, and then second is Bangalore. Okay, then just close. Error type, I think this is because of insert into values. Why it is not coming? It is right only, right? Any error you can see it over here? I don't think so. Any error? Insert into table, right? Location, ID, state. This is the column name, and then values, then comma one. ID is integer, right? And then Mumbai, Bangalore. Yeah, this looks fine. Why? Same function, right? I insert into location values.
Krishnan, you forgot the bracket, open bracket after Mumbai, comma. That you need to close, right? You need to open the bracket before two.
No, before to. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, so these are the stuff which we generally forget. Now, what's the error? No, yeah,
Even you
something.
need to close. No, you need to close for Mumbai. Then you need to give comma, and then
Yeah, right.
Google
Mumbai
will take.
close and then comma. Yeah, right. Comma. Then this is done. Yep. Thank you, Sachin, for that. These things are, it's like or even since I'm working into SQL last 3 to 4 years, but still like these are the stuff because sometime Power BI syntax is different, SQL syntax is different. Then sometime here like single quote, double quote, comma, semicolon. So these are the hilarious thing. So now you have table location, and then suppose you have customer ID. What I need to do is, suppose I just want to join, right? So how can I do the joins, right? So basically what you can do is select star from customers, then what it will give you, it will give you all the information, right? Then you are saying that inner join on, then you are saying that okay, inner join location, you are just joining the table. So basically you are saying that okay, inner join location on. Now you need to define on which. So basically you need to say, I think this is the, yeah, orders, right. So ID I think what table name first, right? So customers dot customer ID equal to location dot ID. See, customer ID, these are the information 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I have done inner join. Inner join basically means it will take only the selected, whatever is matching. So it will take customer ID, first name, last name, age, country. These are the information it was there. Then ID and state name, since ID and state name, since it's coming. So that's why it have added. So this is about inner join. If you do left join, then see what will come. It will give you all the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the last three will be blank because it doesn't have any data, right? For the ID 3, 4, 5. So this is how joins work. Right join and full outer join doesn't work here, not currently supported, so you don't have any choice. But that's how it works. So I hope you understood. These are the syntax thing, right? You just need to remember there is no shortcut like select star, right join. Even I was struggling, to be very honest. Like right join, then you need to write table name, then on you need to write, then you first need to give the table name, then you need to give the column name, then table name, column name, which is same. Here you can give multiple condition as well. So that's how it works. Any question till now? Anyone, any questions? Sanjeev, Bhaskar, Shivani, Adarsh, Charles, Rishika, any question?
No.
I think it's all good. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think these are the stuff. So guys, please explore this W3 school, and there are a lot of. If you are not okay with whatever I have shared, I think what was the name? Programmis.com. I think there are multiple others SQL editor, online SQL editor available. Even W3 school, you have one SQL editor, so you can choose whatever you want to do. But first, I would advise you to create dummy data set which you like. If you are from finance background, use finance. If you are from sales, use sales data. That's how you need to work, and then play with the data. For the time being, first understand the basics. What all operator, what all closures, not in close, percentage. There are a lot of stuff. Temporary table, primary key, foreign key, inner query. So all these things are there. So you need to experiment on your data, and then only it will be done. So that's how it works.